Hello guys, my name is Kiki and welcome to my channel. I've been a crafter for almost 30 years, yeah, that long. But if you want to learn how to decorate your home on a budget while having fun at it, hit the like, subscribe and stay tuned. So let's jump into making some beautiful ornaments to decorate your tree.
DIY number 1, and for this one we are going to take plaster of Paris, a bowl, and we're going to take water and we're going to combine them together just to make a kind of pancake batter type of consistency so we can have our batter or plaster of Paris ready so we can fill our molds. And let me just finish with this. I'm just mixing it really well. Now I'm going to take this mold that I had on my stash and I'm just going to fill it. Then I'm just going to demold them. And when I have them ready, I'm going to take some of this foam clay and I'm just going to work it on my hands like this. I'm just making a really long snake. Something like that, just going all around it like this. So we have a thin but not too thin snake. Now I'm just going to coil it around itself like that. Then I'm just going to coil it around the round like that, working it around in my hands just to make it look like this. When it is dry, I'm going to take tan paint and I'm just going to paint them completely like this. I'm going to paint it all over, then I'm going to let them dry. And then when they are dry, I'm going to take chestnut. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start painting those spaces in between the snaky thingy that we added. And I'm just going to go all around it like that. I'm going to do the same thing on both of them, just making sure that that chestnut shows. So I'm just going to do that. Then I'm going to dry brush it completely. And then I will repeat that with the other one. Let me just finish here. Now we have both of them. And I'm going to take royal gold. And I'm just going to give a good dry brush kind of coat all around the cinnamon roll. I'm just going to go all over it. And now I have both of them. Then I'm going to take this beautiful ribbon from my beautiful friends of Craspire. And I'm just going to make a loop so I can hang my ornament. Let me just flip them over, glue it on the back like that. And then repeat with the other one. Now I'm going to take some Mod Podge and I'm just going to mix it with cinnamon. Yes, because we're making cinnamon rolls, so we need cinnamon. So I'm just going to mix it like this, just mixing it really well. Then I tried with this popsicle stick, but it didn't work. So I took a paintbrush, used one that you don't mind throwing away, and I just painted that cinnamon and Mod Podge around it. Now you can stop there, but I'm just going to use some of this foam clay and some Elmer's glue to make the drizzle. And I went ahead and added it here. As I said, you can stop there. You don't need to add the drizzle, but yeah, I'm extra and I just love the drizzle. And I did this one like this. Then I let it dry for at least 24 hours. And I made the other one like a line because my son prefers less drizzle. And here you can see both of them together. I'm in love with them, but I want to know what you think. Now for DIY number 2, we are going to take epoxy resin. And I just love this. It is my first time, so don't judge. Now I'm just going to take 2 cups and I have my both parts of resin and I'm just going to mix them together. I have equal parts. I'm going to mix for 5 minutes. I took my time. Now I'm just going to add 5 drops of this alcohol ink in the color sepia. I think that's the word for that one. And I'm just going to mix them really well. Then I'm going to use my mold from my beautiful friends of Craspire and I'm going to fill it completely. This one is the Reindeer Mold that they sent me. Now I'm going to do the same, both parts, some mixing cups, and I'm just going to mix them together and I'm going to add this beautiful mica powder. Let me just add it over here. Now they are mixed and I'm going to add a little bit of that powder and I'm just going to mix it really well like that. After I mix it really well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour it on the mold that it came, that it has the horns. I think that's a word, the horns, for the reindeer. I'm just going to make all of them because I wanted to see which one I was going to use. So I'm just going to pour my resin all over those horns. I'm going to let them dry, let them set, and then I'm going to remove them from the mold like this. I'm going to remove all of them. Let me just show you. They are so beautiful. And I'm going to remove this bigger one as well. And I ended removing that overpour that I had there. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove that just by cutting it like that. And we have a beautiful horn. Horns. And now I'm going to take my reindeer and I'm going to remove it from the mold just like this. I'm taking my time because, yeah, it's a mold. It's a little bit hard. But this one, I'm so in love with it. Let me just show you. Let me just get it out of the mold first. And here you can see it's so beautiful. Now, you can use any of those horns to your beautiful reindeer. And she's so cute. So I decided to make 2 of them. And here you can see them, and I'm just loving them. Now for DIY number 3, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take more plaster of Paris, my bowl, and more water. And I'm just going to mix them together as we did before. We're making pancake batter because, yeah, we're making pancakes. No, we are not. So I'm just going to mix them together really well. And I'm so sorry if I sound different, but I've been sick for the past 2 weeks and my throat is on fire. So I'm so sorry. Now I'm just going to pour that plaster over here on this square mold that are from my beautiful friends of Craspire. And I'm just going to take 2 of those and I'm going to make a line on the bottom using the chestnut paint like this because we are making cheesecake. Yeah. Unedible or non-edible. Now I'm going to take some beads, another bowl, and some of this beautiful flag red paint. And I'm going to mix them together with a little bit of water so we can make a beautiful stain. Let me just pour my beads over here. Then I'm going to add a little bit of that paint to the water. Like that, I'm going to mix it really well. Then I'm just going to pour that paint on my beads. And I'm going to mix them really well. After that, I'm going to let them dry, and I used a paper towel to let them dry. But I let them here for a couple of hours before I did that. So I'm just going to keep on adding paint, mixing around, and now that they are dry, let me show you. Here you can see them. They are looking super cute. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to glue them to the top of our cheesecake. I'm going to go all around it, no rhyme or reason, going around, adding here and there, so we can have cherries on our cheesecake. And I did that for both of them. Now I'm going to take the beautiful ribbon from my friends of Craspire, and I'm just going to make another loop so we can hang it on the Christmas tree. And now I'm just making that loop like that. I'm going to glue it to the back. Just like that. Then I'm going to flip it over. One of my cherries didn't survive. And I'm going to repeat that with the other one. Then I'm going to take this silicone and some food coloring. And I use the red one. And I'm just going to mix that together. Here I have my silicone and I'm going to add a couple of drops of that red coloring, food coloring. And I'm just going to mix it really well, just like this. I'm going to go all around it and then I'm going to take my cheesecake and I'm going to start applying that on the top to make that glaze that the cheesecake has on top. I'm going to go all around it, adding my cheesecake glaze. And I'm just going to keep on adding and just flattening it down like that. And here you can see that I'm almost done with this one. And here you can see both of them, and I'm so in love with them. They look so real. Now for DIY number 4, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my foam clay, and I have here a piece of parchment paper. I'm going to take some of that clay, work it on my hands, flatten it down like that. Then I'm going to place another piece of paper on top, and I'm going to use a wine glass just to make that shape like that. Then I'm going to peel it, and then I'm going to remove it from the paper just like this. And then using my nail, I'm going to start making some indentations on the sides so this looks like a cookie or a macaron. Now I'm going to take cinnamon brown and I'm just going to paint them completely. This ones we're going to paint on the top as well as on the bottom part, a little bit on the side so they won't show, when we add our filling. Now that they are dry, we're going to take the beautiful ribbon that we have been using and we're going to make the loops for these ones. And this will make 2 macarons. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put it like that, a loop, add it over here. Do the same for the other one, and then I'm going to take my 1M Wilton tip in a piping bag and some spackling, add it to the middle, push those 2 together, remove the excess on the side, and repeat on the other one just like this. After that, I'm going to remove the excess from the side like that. And then we can start decorating these cuties. Let me just grab my puffy paints, and I'm going to use white puffy paint to make the squiggly lines on the top of the gingerbread man because we're making a gingerbread man. Now I'm going to take some puffy paint in black, and I'm going to make his eyes and his mouth. So let me just do 2 dots for his mouth and a U shape for his mouth. Well, I said it backwards. Now I'm making his cheeks with a little bit of red paint, and now here you can see them. And these ones are so cute, but I want to know what you think. Now for DIY number 5, what we're going to do is more plaster because, yeah, we need more pancakes. We're going to mix it with water. As I told you, we're going to make it like pancake batter consistency. So go ahead, place your plaster of Paris on the bowl, then add your water and let it bubble. That's my trick for this. After it bubbles for a little bit, start mixing it really, really well. And when you finish with that, just make sure that it is really well mixed. Then fill one of these molds, and this is a round mold, and fill it like that. Then we're going to take this clay that I had. It is a little bit watery, and 1 crayon. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take that clay and frost my cookies because this will be cookies. So I'm just going to frost them like this. And then I'm just going to start making texture using plastic. You can use the spoon, and I will show you how we made it with the spoon. Then I'm going to take my crayon, and I'm just going to break it using my scissors. And I'm going to start adding pieces of that all around the cookie. No rhyme or reason, just add a couple of them like that. And then repeat the same steps on the other cookie. Then, using your spoon, go all around that circle and just make sure that you press the spoon and lift the spoon so you can create this beautiful texture. After that, you're going to let them dry really well. And now we can start painting. For that, I'm going to paint them first with the tan paint. And I'm just going to cover them completely just like this. And I'm going to go all around them, painting in that beautiful tan color. Then I'm going to take some of this beautiful royal gold, and I'm just going to paint them on top like that, just to give them that goldeny color that the cookies have. I'm going to repeat that with the other one, and I'm going to use chestnut just to go all around it, just giving it a good dry brush all around our cookie because it was on the oven. Now I'm going to take melted chocolate, and I'm just going to paint those chocolate chips. Yeah, chocolate chips. And I'm going to paint them, making sure that they look cute and we don't have any of that paint on top of them. And when this is ready and we have all of them painted and cutified, we are going to add the loop. And now for the loop, we are going to use the same beautiful ribbon. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to glue it in the back of my cookie. Remember that in the description box down below, you're going to find a coupon code and the links to all of Craspire's products that I used. And here you can see them, and these ones are so cute. Let me know what you think.
If you're new here, thank you so much for clicking on this video. I would love for you to subscribe and become part of our YouTube family. And if you're a returning subscriber, you know how much I love you. In the description box down below, you're gonna find the links to all of my social media so you can go and check me out over there.
Now for DIY number 6, what I'm gonna do is more plaster. Yeah, we have lots of plaster in this episode. Just mix it really well. Make sure that you have your pancake batter texture. Make sure that you add your water to your plaster, not on the reversed. Well, reversed. Something like that. Just make sure that you mix them really, really well. Like that. And then take another mold, or this one, and fill it to the top and make 2 squares. Get them out of the mold, paint them in that beautiful tan paint. Make sure that you have a sponge and just stir some of that sponge out so you can paint it. Now take that paint and then just start sponging it all over like that. This texture will make it look like cake because we're making a beautiful tres leches cake. So go all over the sides. Don't touch the top because we're going to add something different. Now we're going to flip them over and make a loop with the beautiful ribbon from my friends of Craspire. And what I'm going to do is add a little bit of hot glue and add it on the back like that. Then I'm going to repeat that with the other one and take my spackling and we're going to start playing with the spackling on top, just spreading it like that. Take your time so you can make sure that it is spreading and that it is sticking to your tres leches cake. So go ahead and just make sure that it is added. Then make lines with your spatula, clean the sides, and then repeat with the other one. You can add some cinnamon on the top like this and remove the excess because I went a little bit heavy-handed. Now I'm going to take a piping bag with my 1M Wilton tip. Wow, that was a mouthful. And add my spackling to it. Then I'm just going to pipe a starry thingy to the top like this. And then I'm going to take these berries from Amazon and I'm going to add 1 on each of them. Like that. And here you can see them, and these tres leches are so beautiful, but I want to know what you think, so let me know. Now for DIY number 7, and for this one, yeah, more plaster. And I wanted to show you every time I made my plaster. So if you skip one of the ornaments, you can see how the plaster is made. So that's why we have lots of plaster making here. So I'm just going to mix it really well, making sure that it is pancake batter consistency. Just like that, just mix, mix, mix. And when it is ready, we are gonna fill our mold. And our mold will be this beautiful mold from Amazon that it has houses. I'm gonna add my plaster to those houses mold. And I'm just gonna let them set for 2 hours. You know, I like to let mine set for 2 hours. And then I demold them so I can let them dry for like 24 hours at least. Tap, 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 a little bit of alcohol to remove the bubbles. Remove it from the mold. Remove the excess plaster or the overpour. Let them dry for 24 hours and they will be ready for painting. And for painting, we're going to use this beautiful cinnamon brown. And I'm just going to paint them completely like this. Covering it completely. Now it is ready. I'm going to repeat with the other one. And then I'm going to take my puffy paint. But first, let me just make another loop. And I'm just going to do a loop and I'm just going to glue it to the back. As you can see, I measured both of them so I can have similar loops on both of them. I'm going to add it to the back just like this. And then we are ready for our puffy paint. And I'm going to use white puffy paint. And I'm going to start decorating our house. And I just watched a little bit of Google, a little bit too much, of Google inspo on gingerbread houses. So I'm just going to start making thingies here and there. Just making sure that our windows are showing and they are looking cute. Then I'm going to start adding squiggly and squiggly and lines and thingies all around it. And as you can see, I'm so sorry, my throat, it's acting out. And as you can see, we're making the squiggly thingies. Then we're going to make dots like this. And I'm going to keep on making dots. And when we finish with that, I'm going to make the other one. And here you can see both of them and they are looking super duper cute. Now for DIY number 8, yeah, more plaster. You knew it. We're going to mix it really well, as I told you, with our plaster in the bowl at first. And then we add the water, making sure that it is pancake batter or waffle batter. Doesn't matter what you like for your breakfast. Just make sure that it is thick and it is looking good so it can dry faster. So make sure that you mix, mix, mix really well. And then we're going to take our molds, and I'm using these beautiful molds from my friends from Craspire. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill them using our plaster. I'm going to fill them completely just like this. Make sure that they are on the top, but you're not covering the thingy that it has so they can be ornaments. And then we're going to let them dry for 2 hours at least. Remove them from the mold. Tap, 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 a little bit of alcohol. Remove them from the mold. Let them dry 24 hours and then paint them with cinnamon brown. I'm going to paint them completely just like this, making sure that I'm covering everything. Now I'm going to repeat that with the other one, and then I'm going to take resin, but this is a mess. So I mixed my resin, everything went well, and I added some thingy food coloring for this, just to give it a good red color. That was okay because I made a mold and it worked perfectly. But I forgot that plaster is a porous surface. So I just pour this over here and you will see that it will disappear. So let me just pour it so you can see it because I want to show you what I did. Now you can see that I fixed it and it is looking cute, but this is how it looked. It went away almost completely, but what I did is I just filled that up using some silicone because, yeah, the resin went away. And I used this silicone, just added a little bit on the top. Make sure that I covered everything and it looks like this. Super cute and a quick fix. Now, let's just get this cookies cooking and not work with resin like that anymore. Now I'm going to take some water and I'm just going to spray a little bit of water. Then I'm going to take my Snowflake and a strainer. I'm spraying my thingies and I'm just pouring some of that on top. Then I added a little bit more water and then I cleaned up my snowflake in the middle because we're making jelly cookies. Now I'm going to take some of this twine. Yes, we're not using the ribbon because this has a little tiny hole. So I use some twine and I'm going to tie it on the top like that. Just like this, making a knot, cutting the excess, flipping that knot to the back, and here you can see them, and this ones look delicious, and no one can say nothing. DIY number 9, and for this one, yep, you knew it. We are going to use more plaster, and as I told you, I'm going to show you how I made it. Yep, pancake batter is the thingy over here. That's the theme of this video. Pancake batter. Make sure that it is mixed really well. Looks like pancake batter. Yeah, I think you know by now that I like my pancake batter. Then fill this beautiful molds from my friends from Craspire. And it has a Santa and it has a tree. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill them like this. Let them dry for 2 hours. Tap, tap, tap. Add a little bit of alcohol to remove the bubbles. Just let them dry 2 hours. Remove them from that mold. And let them dry for 24 hours, just to make sure that they are dry and they are ready for painting. Let me just remove them like that, and looking super cute. Look at that, so beautiful. Now let's make the same thing with resin. So I made my resin, I added some of this alcohol ink, and now I'm gonna just mix it really well. Then I'm just gonna pour it to my mold like that. Then I'm going to let this dry for 24 hours and then I'm going to remove it from the mold. I'm just tapping a little bit to remove any air bubbles that I have. Let it dry 24 hours, remove it from the mold and looking super beautiful. Time for painting. Let's paint those plaster of Paris with cinnamon brown. I'm just going to cover them completely like this. And now I'm going to take this beautiful white paint. It's beautiful, yeah, it's white. And we're going to give it a good dry brush all around it like that. This is a heavy dry brush on both of them, just like that. When I finish with them, I'm going to do the same with the resin ones. We're going to take some of that white paint and give it a dry brush like this. And just like that, I'm going to repeat that with the other one. And these ones are looking like cookies, but they are made out of sugar. I don't know. I just love them. They are so cute. Let me just go ahead and finish with this so we can make the borders like that. After that, we will just add a loopity-loop on the back with this beautiful ribbon. And I'm just going to cut it like that, make my loop, glue it to the back of our cookies like this. And we will be ready. Let me just make another one like that so you can see the loopity technique. And just glue it on the back like this. And that's it. Now let me show you. Here you can see them, and these ones are so, so beautiful. I just love them. Let me know what you think. Now for DIY number 10, or our last DIY, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a foam bowl, some of this straws, and this beautiful ribbon from my friends on Craspire. Go and check them out. My description box has everything you need, so you can go and check them out, and there's a coupon code over there. Now I'm just going to cut this straw in the middle. And now I'm just going to add a little bit of hot glue just to make sure that they stay there. A little bit of hot glue here. Add the straw, and now we're going to take this ribbon and we're going to cut 4 pieces, but I'm just measuring it like that so I can cut my 4 pieces. We are going to make a lollipop, so just cut your 4 pieces, and then when you have all of them, grab your foam bowl, add a little bit of hot glue on the top, add your first ribbon like this. Just make sure that it is stuck there. Then add a little bit more hot glue because we're going to start crisscrossing our ribbons. So make sure that you have it over there. Add a little bit of hot glue. Crisscross your ribbons. Just make sure that you're grabbing them on the bottom. Keep on adding. As you can see, I'm crisscrossing all of them like that. And then we're just going to start gluing them to the foam bowl. Just flip it over. Add hot glue on the first ribbon. And just make sure that you just pinch it on the bottom like that. Just make sure that it is glued and you can cinch it. Now, add more hot glue to the second one and keep on adding your ribbons to your lollipop. Keep on doing that until you have glued all of your ribbons. As you can see, I'm just going to the first, second, the third one, and now I'm going to add the fourth one. Let me just add the hot glue on this one. And now that we have it, we need to make it look like a lollipop. So for that, I'm going to take the beautiful ribbon that we've been using for all of our DIYs. Yeah, this one. And I'm just going to tie it in the middle just to make 2 leggies and a knot. Let me just make a knot over here like this. Tie them together really well like that. Make sure that that is tight as I can. Then add a little bit of hot glue to that leggy that it is a little bit higher than the other one. And then you can add your hanger over here like that with a little bit of hot glue, just like that. If you want to stick it on the inside, it's okay. But this is how they will look. And here you can see both of them and they are looking super duper cute. Let me know what you think. If you want to buy me some crafting supplies, you will find this link in the description box down below. You don't have to do that. You can support your favorite creator by watching, sharing, and liking their videos. But if you want to buy me crafting supplies, this link, you will find it in the description box down below, and you will get a shout out in my channel. Now it's time for the final reveal, and here you can see all of them together, and I'm so in love with all of these ornaments. They are so beautiful. As I told you, I want to know what you think, so let me know in the comments below what you think about all of these ones, because yeah, I'm biased. And remember that in the description box down below, you're going to find the links to all of Craspire products, so you can go and check them out. They have lots of beautiful things over there, and those prices are awesome. As well, you will find a coupon code, so you can go and check them out and get you something cute, so you can get your crafting started. Next week, we are going to make another big and beautiful DIY video because I need to take a break from crafting and for my throat. So see you next week, my beautiful friends. And that's it for today. This is everything I have for you. Remember, let me know in the comments below what you think about all of them, and share this video with a friend because that's the free way to help this girl out. Take care, my beautiful friends. Bye-bye.